Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here. I have a very special guest, of course, the one, the only, a quantum purpose activator, the cosmic Monica Bermudez is here. She's also an author. We're going to talk about purpose. What is the purpose of us being here? Why all of these trials? What is going on? Thank you so much, Monica, for being here. Please tell us more about your quantum purpose activator, cosmic, and everything that you do and how you help people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here, Pink. I am so honored, so grateful to be connecting with everybody right now. My name is Monica Bermudez, and I am a quantum purpose activator. And I work with a lot of the cosmic channeling energies, intuitive, but I also have scientific background. So I've been blending a lot of my wisdom with science and mysticism, as well as my intuitive side. And I do feel a lot of the collective energy, but I do help a lot of people work through their subconscious patterns that have been toxic, keeping people in lack or small, and not feeling confident or trustworthy of themselves, because that's really where everything starts, is within self.
Yes, and I love everything that you are doing and working on, and the fact that you have a science background and degrees in science, really. Plus everything else with uh, the cosmic, the divine, and just I can only imagine how much help you are able to provide for everyone that is aligned with what you're working on. So tell us a little bit about how this all started for you, as far as combining them together.
Yeah, so for me, I studied, the traditional way of school, like in electrical engineering, but I've always been very different. Growing up, I've always had abilities that I never really shared publicly. And I was always fascinated with supernatural abilities like psychic powers and telepathy and telekinesis. And I would spend most of my time studying it behind the scenes. I always had the ability to see ghosts growing up, which at first, growing up, it did kind of freak me out. But eventually, I learned to embrace my gifts. Um, but I decided to go study engineering school. And so that's by tradition, that's the kind of work that I'm doing. And behind the scenes, I was studying mysticism and doing like personal development of understanding more of my gifts when it came to intuition and psychic abilities, and doing a lot of meditation growing up as a child. And so a lot of my practice, that's the way I was doing it. It's not until like I went through a divorce that it really led into a catalyst, because it was the loss, the heartbreak, that really led into a breakthrough. And that
Mhm.
was really stepping into my actual purpose of like in public and actually doing presentations and doing these talks to encourage others, to empower others, and also help others understand that they have more than just this human suit that we have. There's just more to us. And so that's where my passion is. And so that's when I started to really blend all my wisdom that I had, studied through school, but as well as my mystical background and, having my intuitive side as well.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. I have a question. So,
Mhm.
seeing that you were able to see ghosts as a child or younger, when you were younger, and then going into a science degree, for example, did you encounter a lot of maybe backlash, or maybe like what are you talking about? What do you mean you see ghosts or anything like that? Or were people around you more supportive, or how was that for you? Because I would imagine it might have been a little bit, I don't know, a lot of skeptical people maybe have been around. I don't know. So I'm asking, how was that for you?
Yeah, that's a good question, but I was a closet mystic. I never really shared it with anybody. I could sense that there was a lot of skepticism in people still. So
Mhm.
I didn't share it with a lot of people when I was in engineering school. Um, I would share it though, like with other people who I sense were open to it, which was like a really rare thing to like find. So that's why I really felt like I didn't really fit, in a lot of places.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I can imagine. So yeah, okay. So it was kind of like something that you kept to yourself for a while, and you shared with who you felt comfortable sharing with. That makes a lot of sense. So okay, I'm gonna ask you, how was that like the first times that you know, saw a ghost when you were younger? Like, how was that? How did you know it was a ghost? Because imagine people out here in the world right now that are going, was that real? Was that not real? Did I really, was that a dream? Like, there are a lot of people that still go through that today. And I'm sure that's a lot of people that you also help. But what was
Yes.
that like? And also, then we can, after that, we could talk about like purpose, people's like purpose now and future
Yeah.
purpose. Like, but I really want to like get a little bit into that as well. So if you
Yeah,
can.
perfect. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So as a child, you're pretty much a little more open, so there isn't like a much of a filter, as when you grow up. I think that's when the filter kind of starts being built in. But as a child, when I would see them as I would be seeing an actual person, but I knew that they were because, for instance, like I saw my uncle at a grocery store, and he had just passed away. Actually, he was murdered, but I knew that he had passed away. But I saw him very clearly at the grocery store,
Mhm,
standing in an aisle, and of course, I told my parents, he was standing there, but they looked over. They're like, "There's nobody there."
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
so that also validated the fact that I was the only one seeing this ghost. His
mhm.
apparition.
Right. Okay. Well, I appreciate you answering that because, that is a really great example of what it could feel like, what it could look like, what it could, the experience that it can be. So I really appreciate you answering that
Yes.
question. Tell us about like how people can work with you in order for them to find their purpose, and why is all of these things happening like all around us all the time, and like the trials as far as like the losses or the negativity, or I mean, all of those things that we all go through.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of collective challenges going around right now. A lot of things, right? As you can see, like the weather and also like the climate, of people's and emotional outbursts. Um, and I would like to say that, all of us here are here for this reason, for this purpose, because we're going through this great shift and this great transitional phase of stepping into the new human. So, in order for that to happen, is that because there is greater light codes that are actually coming into right now that are also integrating with us and also with Earth. And so, of course, when you have so much more, frequency, like frequency is, faster pulsating movement than it was before many years back. And it keeps changing like a very quantum speed. This is scientifically being proven, as many charts are being shown in the geological Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of Earth, and it is moving at a faster pulsating rate. And so that's why a lot of things may seem like they're chaotic right now, because there's a lot that's being purged, that is being released, that is being completed. And so that's why many of us may see in our individual lives a lot of things rising to the top that seem very challenging. And especially for this year of 2025. So you wouldn't be in the situation if it was somebody who could not handle it. And so what I'm saying is that this is your purpose, is to that you are an alchemist, and as a divine being that you have within yourself, is the divinity within yourself. That is a very powerful creative force. So there's always a way to find the solution to those challenges. So think of it as being in school, because Earth is like a school. We're all in this PhD advanced degree. So how do you like handle, certain problems and situations and challenges
Mm-hmm.
with creative solutions, creative ideas? And this is, your next phase for your mastery. And I like to call a lot of my clients light masters, because
Mm-hmm.
even if they don't feel it, I know that they have this ability. I know that we all have this ability within us. So really just stepping out, learning how to step out of the victim mindset, survival mode, and stepping into our
Mm-hmm.
our sovereignty of creativity.
Okay, that
That
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yes, yes, it does. See, we're on the same page. Okay, I love that you have obviously a website, which we'll go through a little bit here in a little bit. But you also have a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, podcast, and a YouTube. So tell us about the podcast.
Yeah, so I have a podcast. It's called Ascended Earth, the Transfiguration of the New Human. The word transfiguration came in because that's really what we're going through, is through these phases of changes and transitional states. So it's almost like a metamorphosis state. So no matter what chaos is going around, like if there's, there, you can still alchemize even in chaotic situations. So to me, that's what this podcast is, like a transmissional space of sharing a lot of wisdom and a lot of mysticism, a lot of channeling, a lot of, meditations that come through in order to help with healing and
Mhm.
activation and transformation. And I also bring in a lot of guests to help with that as well. So it's more designed for the collective message, especially with the situations going on right now.
Excellent, excellent. I love that. And your YouTube, also has a visual portion of that as well. So please be sure to check that out. And here is your website. So you have obviously private sessions for one-on-one clients, and then there's
Yes.
also a monthly quantum circle of light masters. So
Yeah, I
that's
have one
awesome.
coming up next week on October 21st, which is a new moon, when it's heightened energies, a new moon in Libra. So it's a multiversal circle of creation is what I call it.
Awesome.
And I just had my Sedona retreat just this past weekend, actually, so I haven't updated that.
Oh, okay. So how long was that one for?
It was about 2 days, but it was just very
Cool.
powerful, very focused.
Mhm.
We did a lot of grid work for those who are into the grid work, going around sacred sites and really just anchoring in new timelines, through the ley lines and the grid system for Earth and the collective, because we're all receiving it through one way or another, those who are willing to receive.
That's awesome. I love that. And tell us about your books.
So I have a book. It's called Cracking the Sacred Heart Code, a channel alchemical formula and a practical guidebook, because it is a practical guidebook and is designed as different steps or formulas, to really alchemize your own heart. So it's a self-help, type book to for personal development. And it's also like sharing my personal experience and what I did after the divorce, from going from loss, heartbreak, into like stepping into my wholeness of self-love and breakthrough, and really embracing my purpose, stepping into the clarity of it, the confidence of it, and assisting others with it, but really stepping more into what that purpose is. And the one thing I want to say, that there is multiple forms of purpose as well. There isn't just one. I mean, because there's a purpose, that we have with our family, purpose that we may have with certain friends. There's also things that we're learning from, that we are completing cycles with, a lot of which, we've decided before coming into these physical bodies that we would agree to do. or to take on pretty much. Sometimes we wonder why we take on so much stuff, right? But I think it's because you're all so powerful.
Yes, I appreciate you saying that because it's so true. Multi-purpose is accurate. We are here for many reasons, not just one. Finding that is what is important, right? Each of us has obviously an individual purpose and then
Yeah.
a collective purpose, and yeah. So the cracking the sacred heart code on Amazon. The links are in Monica's website, but also in the description, so you can get a hold of her books or ask her any questions. She has shared her email and all of those things. So the bio for the book, for example, says the sacred heart is the key to ascension and manifestation and the foundation of our soul essence and beingness. Unfortunately, life is filled with losses that can leave us feeling hopeless and searching for light. Despite receiving help from others around us, we are the only ones who can truly extract ourselves from the dark night of the soul. But how? And so this book of Monica's explores that, and she also helps one on one with that because these are really important things. We all want to know how to get out of the darkness when we are there, and how that way we can help others. So I really love everything that you're doing. You also have a gift for us.
Yes.
Tell us about the gift.
Yeah, I wanted to gift those who want to join my mailing list to get a free gift, which is a light language transmission. For those who don't know who light language is, it's just really about sounds and vibrations that are channeled through me. And so I work with, the cosmic masters in angelic frequency as well. I'm working with a lot of angelic frequency. But in this particular one, this free gift is really to balance the chakras within our body. Chakras are like psychic centers. We have the major points, and then we also have the minor chakras all throughout our bodies. So this just helps to keep people balanced, because there's just so much supercharged of energy that's coming through the planet. So it kind of rattles us a little bit, if we're not used to being bombarded with so much, heightened frequency all at once. So this energy transmission helps with that. So that's my gift.
Thank you so much. Yes. Again, it's on her website, and also there's a link in the description here on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all of the others. So, and you also have the testimonials. Some people have said great things about the work that you do. Monica Bermudez is a pure channeler of light language. The energies I felt were instantaneous and powerful. It truly assisted in her shifting her energies, and she's grateful to Monica for sharing her gifts. So, and then there are other ones. So, you're helping so many people, and really appreciate that. Any last comments or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
Yes. Just know that whatever it is that anybody is going through right now, that I believe in you. So believe in yourself, and your own abilities, that you have this, within you. And it's only you who can really break yourself out of whatever situation you're in. So it's really mastering also the reactionary aspects, of ourselves. Rather than being, reactionary, it's really about mastering the self. And that's really what will lead into the mastery of your destiny in your life.
Yep, I 100% agree. We live in this world right now where everything is being like told to us, shown to us, thrown at us, and everything's coming from the outside. Like, think this, do this,
Mm-hmm.
and then we become, like you said, like reactionary, and so we react to what has been thrown to us. But really, where the healing manifestation and transformation comes is from the inside, knowing who you are and pulling that out to the world and throwing it
Exactly.
back at, I say throwing it back at the world,
Yes.
like for real. It's like, I'm done listening to what the world is telling me I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be and I'm supposed to do. So
Exactly.
I love
Yes.
that empowerment that you have and that you help others achieve and grasp as well. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Monica Bermudez, for being here. And oh, one last question. Do other people in your family have the gifts that you do, or is that like, because I'm wondering, I've always figured it's probably something also it's in some way genetic, but then again, maybe not, because I don't know. I don't. So, what do you think as far as you
Yeah.
in
There
that?
is some of that genetic, I feel, but also like there's a choice that we make before incarnating. So we pick the family that we know is going to have some of that gifts. Like for me, on my mom's side, um, the women are the ones who have the psychic ability.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm the only one who's like really stepping up in the public form,
Mhm.
because that's what I've been called to do more of, you know.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, no, I believe that too. I do believe that we do kind of like already know where we're gonna go before we get there, before we're
Yeah,
born.
it's like
So
the
yeah,
pre-plan,
it,
I guess.
that's probably where the genetic component comes in, as far as that mysticism and divinity, but also like other things, right? The
Hmm.
gift, like the gifts and even our physical, the way we look physically and the way we act,
Yeah.
sometimes maybe even emotionally. It's just kind of like, it's kind of all just
Hmm.
So thank
Yeah.
you so much for being
I
here.
also just want to mention real quick that we all have the ability, to harness the psychic and intuitive side as well. It's just a matter of doing personal development. But I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why people should get a hold of you, because you would help with that. That's
Yes.
something that you can assist with. So absolutely, I appreciate you. And I'm glad that you said that. Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone.
you for having me, for everybody.
Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you. And as I always say on the closing, this world needs more kindness. So please be more kind. Even if you're kind, be extra kind. um, Online, in person, and also be kind to yourself. Thank you so much.